What if the richest person you know doesn't look rich at all? No designer clothes, no luxury car, no mansion, just calm confidence, smart choices, and quiet wealth. While many chase status and flash, there's a whole group of millionaires flying under the radar, unnoticed, unbothered, and unbelievably wealthy. They don't show off. They don't brag. And yet, they've quietly built lives most people only dream about. So how can you spot one of these quiet millionaires? Here are the subtle, often overlooked signs that someone might be wealthier than you think. Starting with the most telling clue of all. Number 1. They live below their means. We're conditioned to think that wealth screams, that it comes with luxury cars, designer clothes, and flashy jewelry. But the truth is, the truly wealthy often whisper. Let's talk about one of their most telling habits, something that quietly separates them from the crowd. They don't try to look rich. Instead, they live like they don't need to prove anything. When was the last time you saw Warren Buffett post a photo with a new Rolex or buy a Lamborghini just because he could? This man is worth over $100 billion and still lives in the same modest house he bought in 1958. Quiet millionaires understand one thing most people miss. Money isn't meant to be spent to impress others. It's a tool for freedom, not validation. While others max out credit cards to keep up with trends, quiet millionaires keep their costs low, often far below what they can afford. They cook at home, compare prices, and drive reliable cars instead of luxury brands. Living below your means doesn't mean deprivation. It means freedom from financial stress. Number 2. They value time over money. Quiet millionaires don't chase money. They protect their time. Money is unlimited. You can always earn more. But time, that's one thing you can never get back. Have you ever noticed how truly wealthy people often have very open schedules? They're not running around, overbooked, or always too busy. That's not laziness. That's design. Take a look at successful entrepreneurs or self-made millionaires. They delegate, outsource, and automate because they know their time is their most valuable asset. They spend time with family, take care of their health, read, think, plan, and strategize. They don't waste hours arguing over minor bills or standing in line for a discount. Not because they're above it, but because they've learned to ask one powerful question. Is this worth my time? Number 3. They invest consistently. If you looked at their bank account, you'd never guess how wealthy they really are. No sudden spikes, no lottery wins, no flashy crypto pumps. Just quiet, steady growth, year after year. That's the unspoken magic of quiet millionaires. They don't wait for the perfect moment to invest. They don't chase hype or time the market. They simply show up consistently and let compound interest do the heavy lifting. While many people jump in and out of investments based on headlines or TikTok trends, quiet millionaires take a different route. They invest when the market's booming. They invest when the market's crashing. And they keep investing when no one's even paying attention. They often follow boring but proven strategies. Index funds, real estate, dividend stocks, just assets that grow slowly and steadily over time. Most of them never talk about it. They're not the ones bragging about their latest win. They're the ones who understand this. The real flex is financial security, not financial showmanship. Number 4. They're humble. You know what's interesting? The richest person in the room is often the one who never brings it up. There is no name-dropping, flashy talk, or look what I bought conversations. Just calm confidence and humility. One of the most surprising traits of a quiet millionaire is that they don't need you to know they're rich. Because they're not trying to prove anything, their identity isn't tied to their bank balance. They ask questions instead of dominating conversations, listen more than they speak, and treat the janitor the same as the CEO. Take Chuck Feeney, for example. He co-founded duty-free shoppers and secretly gave away almost his entire $8 billion fortune while living in a rented apartment and wearing a $15 watch. These people aren't humble because they're wealthy. They're wealthy because they're humble. Their humility allows them to learn, grow, and stay grounded. Number 5. They prioritize privacy. Quiet millionaires move in silence, not because they're hiding something, but because they understand the value of privacy. They don't share their wins on social media. They don't broadcast their net worth at dinner parties. And you'll never catch them filming a video in front of a luxury car just to prove a point. When you truly have wealth, you don't need attention. You need protection. They know that money attracts eyes, and not always the good kind. So instead of flexing, they focus on building behind closed doors. Most millionaires aren't influencers. They're not trying to go viral. They're trying to stay safe, stay focused, and stay wealthy. Do you know who Jim Simons is? Most people don't. He's one of the most successful hedge fund managers in history and worth billions. Yet you rarely see interviews. No social media. No headlines about lavish parties. Privacy isn't just a preference, it's a strategy. Quiet millionaires don't need to prove anything to the outside world. Their satisfaction doesn't come from likes, shares, or applause. It comes from freedom. The freedom to live on their own terms, without the world watching. Number 6. They have a long-term mindset. While most people are chasing quick wins, fast money, next month results, and get-rich-quick schemes, quiet millionaires are playing the long game. They're not focused on impressing anyone today. They're thinking about where they'll be in 10, 20, even 30 years. That mindset changes everything. Instead of asking, how much can I make right now? They ask, what can I build that will last? While others panic when the market dips, quiet millionaires stay calm. They understand that wealth is built over time, not overnight. They don't sell off when prices fall. They buy more because they see dips as discounts, not disasters. Ever heard of Ronald Read? He was a janitor and gas station attendant. No one suspected he was wealthy, but over time, he quietly invested in blue-chip stocks. When he passed away, he had over $8 million, not by chasing hype, but by being patient, disciplined, and thinking long-term. They don't get discouraged by slow progress, because they understand the power of compound results. Quiet millionaires know that success doesn't come from one big move. It comes from hundreds of small, smart decisions, stacked over years. Number 7. They are selective with their social circles. Quiet millionaires are very intentional about who they spend time with, because they know this simple truth. Your environment shapes your outcomes. While most people try to grow their networks to appear connected, quiet millionaires are trimming theirs to stay focused. They don't waste energy on gossip, drama, or shallow friendships. They're not interested in being popular. They're interested in being peaceful, productive, and purpose-driven. Instead of surrounding themselves with big talkers, they choose big thinkers, people who challenge and inspire and build something long-term. Steve Jobs was known to keep a tight circle, not because he was antisocial, but because he valued deep, meaningful conversations. He didn't want noise, he wanted clarity. Ever heard the phrase, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with? Quiet millionaires live by that. They make sure their circle is helping them grow, not holding them back. Number 8. They focus on self-education. While people scroll through social media or binge-watch shows, quiet millionaires are deep in books, podcasts, online courses, or even just thinking and reflecting. They know something powerful. The biggest returns don't just come from stocks or real estate. They come from the mind. Most quiet millionaires aren't born with insider knowledge. They build it, bit by bit, book by book, mistake by mistake. They read about money, psychology, leadership, business, health, you name it, because they know their success is directly tied to how much they understand. Warren Buffett spends about 80% of his day reading, not trading, not making deals, reading. Of course, not every quiet millionaire has that kind of schedule, but the principle is the same. Grow your mind, and your money will follow. Self-education gives them an edge. When markets change, they adapt. When opportunities show up, they're ready. When problems hit, they stay calm, because they've studied what to do. And it's not just about knowledge, it's about mindset. They invest in learning how to stay disciplined, how to manage emotions, how to think long-term when others panic. Number 9. They rarely talk about money. The wealthiest people in the room? They're often the quietest. They don't need to prove anything, not because they're shy. Quiet millionaires don't go around bragging about their net worth. They don't drop hints about their income. They're not showing off bank balances or investment portfolios. For them, money is a tool, not a trophy. They've already won the game in their minds. There's no need to announce the score. Take Keanu Reeves, for example. He's a Hollywood celebrity, but off camera, he lives modestly. He takes the subway, keeps a low profile. He's worth millions, but you'd never hear him talking about it. That's what makes quiet millionaires different. They also understand something deeper. When you talk too much about money, you give away power. You open the door to judgment, manipulation, or fake relationships. So they keep things private. Number 10. They're generous. Generosity is a hallmark of many quiet millionaires. They understand something most people miss. True wealth isn't just about what you keep, it's about what you share. Giving back creates value beyond money. It builds relationships, trust, and a sense of purpose. Take folks like Chuck Feeney, the billionaire who quietly gave away almost his entire fortune during his lifetime. He didn't want the spotlight, he just wanted to make a difference. That's the kind of generosity that speaks volumes without saying a word. Generosity doesn't always mean big checks. Sometimes it's mentoring a young entrepreneur, volunteering time, or helping a friend in need. Quiet millionaires see giving as part of their responsibility, not a burden. Number 11. They don't seek validation through material things. Quiet millionaires don't rely on material things to prove their worth or success. They don't need flashy symbols to gain respect or admiration. Instead, they find value in their actions, relationships, and contributions. Things money can't buy. Take someone like Ingvar Kamprad, the founder of IKEA. Despite being one of the richest men in the world, he drove a modest car and lived in a simple house. He valued humility and practicality over showing off wealth. That's the mindset of a quiet millionaire. They focus on building a real legacy and impact rather than collecting trophies. Their confidence comes from knowing who they are, not from what they own. Quiet millionaires teach us that true wealth is internal, not external. When you stop seeking validation through material things, you free yourself to focus on what really counts: growth, purpose, and meaningful connections. Number 12. They prioritize assets over liabilities. Many quiet millionaires understand this better than anyone. They focus on stacking assets, not liabilities. Owning a fancy car might feel like a status symbol, but it's actually a liability. It costs money every month: insurance, maintenance, depreciation. On the other hand, owning rental property or investments puts money in your pocket. Quiet millionaires prioritize these kinds of assets because they generate income or appreciate over time. Have you ever noticed how some wealthy people don't flash the latest gadgets or expensive toys? That's because they know true wealth grows quietly in the background, in things like stocks, businesses, or real estate. These assets work for them, building more wealth without constant effort. They put their money where it multiplies. The truth is, most quiet millionaires didn't get there by accident. They built wealth on purpose, through discipline, patience, and smart habits repeated over time. No flexing, no shortcuts, just quiet, consistent action. You don't need to be born into money to follow the same path. You just need to think long-term, live below your means, and stay focused on what truly matters. If you found value in this video, give it a thumbs up. It really helps more people find content like this. And if you're serious about building wealth without the noise, subscribe to Blackboard Finance and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video like this one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.